Hi, we're here at the 2022 Global Online Marketplaces Conference in Miami, and I'm with Mike James from LivePerson. So Mike, thank you very much for coming to the conference.
Pleasure.
And thank you very much for sponsoring. We're very appreciative. Now, what does LivePerson do?
So LivePerson is a conversational AI company. So our CEO invented chat about 20 odd years ago. But in that time, obviously as technology has moved on, it's become more about conversational AI and driving savings, driving CSAT improvements for companies, and really sort of working with marketplaces, classifieds and listings brands to automate many of the things that people typically would phone up a call center about, for example. And so really ensuring that the agents and the care team are able to do higher gain activities, which are going to generate more revenue. That brings many benefits, so people are happier being able to get on with their daily lives. They're not constrained to a session-based environment. It's something that is asynchronous in the existing devices across different platforms. So yeah, and there are lots of different use cases for conversational AI within certainly marketplaces. There's transactional, there's promotional messaging, or there's customer care, for example.
Okay. So when we look at the solution and how you implement it into a platform, is it a simple implementation process?
Yep, fairly low stroke no code implementation. We operate across both web messaging via an SDK, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, to name a few, Apple Business Chat, for example. So each can be folded in as and when they're appropriate, and it just depends on which platforms are most popular in which market.
Okay, so the way I sort of think about this is, these conversational AI type technologies help improve the quality of service provided, reduce the costs of actually providing those services, and at the same time lead to a higher number of sales and conversions of transactions.
Exactly, yeah. So the benefits are sort of twofold. For the consumer, it means that you can get on with your daily lives. You don't want to be hanging around, and we've heard a lot here about people don't want to spend 3 hours on hold. That was my first interaction with LivePerson, was when I cancelled a flight in the pandemic. And I phoned up the airline, 3 hours on hold. I didn't want that. Press 1 for messaging. I thought this could go horribly wrong. It didn't. I got my money back very quickly. And that's really, it's about reducing friction for the users, but also for the brands. It's about reducing overhead on care teams, for example, or just reducing friction with the communication. So when I go to a real estate site, typically you enter in your email, your details, the agent will get an email. That's too long a delay between the intent and the follow-up happening.
Yes.
With messaging, it can go straight to the agent's phone or device, and then they can look in the console, they can farm out the lead to whoever they want, and they can respond.
And they can also have pre-created messages that can go back. So I feel like I'm actually engaged in a conversation and being heard, rather than sort of going into the ether and hoping like hell something happens in the next, well, I would love it in the next 30 seconds, and it might be in the next 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
So,
so Mike, well, thank you very much. I love what you guys do. Thank you for coming to the conference, and all the best with the business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.